Yes, sir. Once again, good morning, all. So, in this semester, we are going to learn web technologies course. Technologies course. So, in this class, what I would like to do is I would like to go for overview of what is the outcome of web technologies. What is the outcome of web technologies? That is what I am going to discuss in this class. Okay, fine, guys. First and foremost thing is. Uh, Web technology is not a single language. It's a collection of various kind of languages which is used for to develop a front end part. I'm just giving overview. It's not actually a syllabus. Just giving overview. Generally, when we go for an industry, there are mainly three types of people. There are mainly three types of people. One type of people are front-end developers. I mean, I am discussing about in the point of developers point, front-end developers. Another one is back-end developers. Back-end developers. Another type of people are full-stack developers. Another type of people are full-stack developers. Okay, fine. So the people who are going to develop only front end part of the website, only front end part of the website, those people we call it as front end developers. The people who are mainly concentrating on back end code, those are all called as back end developers. Full stack developers means these people are a combination of both one and two. What happened? Combination of both one and two. For example, let us take rgktsklm.h.in. Is a kind of website or not? Yes, it's a kind of website. So if you see whatever the thing that you are going to observe, is it a front end part or a back end part? It is going to be a front end part. It is going to be a front end part. If I click on queries, it is going to display some page. It is also a kind of front end part. If I click on tenders, it is also a kind of front end part. Meaning that the look and feel of the web page are going to make done by the ask Ramya to mute. So this is the problem with if I'm not the admin. Yes. Yeah. So whatever the thing that I am going to make, interacted by the user, we call it as front end part. So it can be anything. Can be anything. For example, these are news and notifications, events and achievements. Everything will be comes under front end part. Front end part. Okay, fine. If you open example.rgktsklm.h.in, is it a front end part or back end part? Can anybody? Is it a front end part or a back end part? Yes, Sunil. Very good. It is also a front end part, meaning that wherever the user is interacting, it will simply call it as front end part. If you click on 2017 E1 semester 2 marks, it is also a front end part. It is also a front end part. Now, if I try to enter some kind of ID number followed by some kind of password, if I click on login, what are the output that you are going to get? It is also kind of front end part. It is also kind of front end part. But whatever the thing that we are unable to view, that thing we call it as back end. I mean, what I am saying is, with the help of front end, for example, there is a web page, example web page. I am going to enter username and password, submit button. There is a kind of database is there. Background, some process is going. So this background process is going to done by backend developers. What they are going to do? They are going to take the username and password of the user. username and password of the user, and they are going to compare the corresponding password in the database. For example, S17001 I have entered. Username is also S17001. I am going to take the corresponding password, something like 1234. If the user enters like the value like here also 1234, then they will get 1234 and it is matched with this one. So they can go for successful login and they will display the corresponding result. This checking process, authentication process, or whatever it may be to display the corresponding result, all the logic is going to be developed by backend developers. So front end part is going to make by only to view the website. Full stack developers, this is a combination of both front end part and back end, meaning that these people are responsible for to deploy the complete website. Meaning that so they are going to responsible for to make this complete RGKit SQLM site. They are going to responsible for home page. They are going to responsible for to provide the result. They are going to responsible for to provide the corresponding errors. All these. Okay, so this is what done by the full stack developers. Okay, fine. So through the front end, front end design of the website, we can able to develop with the help of various kind of web technologies. Back end, we can able to develop with the help of PHP. We can able to develop with the help of advanced Java. We can able to develop with the help of CH.NET. We can able to develop with the help of Python, etc. What about the front end web design, front end part? We can able to do with the help of Java or not? Yes, guys, you have to understand one thing. This front end design, back end design is common for all kind of applications. See, while explaining the concepts, while dealing the subject Java language, I have defined this concept of applications. Various kind of applications: standalone applications, desktop applications, or window applications. Another type of applications are distributed applications. For all these, backend is same. Backend code is I can able to define with the help of PHP, advanced Java, .NET, Python, or any etc. But coming to the front end part of distributed applications, it will vary. Meaning that it may be like in the form of a like window application, like it will be in the form of a frame, right? If it is in Java. If it is in distributed applications, I am going to open in the browser. So to develop distributed applications front end part, we are going to study the subject web technologies. To develop front end part of the standalone applications, desktop applications, or Windows applications, we have studied already Java. That is the main difference between web technologies and Java. Distributed applications of front end part design cheyadaniki we are going to study web technologies. Standalone desktop Windows based applications developed cheyadaniki front end part we are going to study Java. Not only Java, we can use .NET, all this. But I would like to make a clear difference. That is why I have taken only the previous semester subject and this semester subject, web technologies. Okay, fine. So this is the general overview of this thing. So where we are going to use web technology subject, we are going to use this web technology subject as part of the to get a job in the point of front end developers, or to design a front end part of the website. Then we'll go for web technology subject. Okay, fine. Let me complete some few technical terms so that you'll get some more clarity. First of all, with the help of this web technology course, so I would like to take blue color so that it will. With the help of this web technology course, I can able to design a web page. I can able to design a web page. First of all, what do you mean by web page? Web page is a collection of we can call it as information, or simply you can call it as data. There is a huge difference between information and data. That is also what we have discussed in the data structure subject. Okay, information data ki chala difference unnamai. Meeku already data structure cheppan. Yes. So collection like this, it can be like an images, text, links, or anything. Normal text, links, images, multimedia, anything. This is a kind of web page. And the next terminology is website. Website means it is a collection of web pages. Collection of web pages. That's it. So these two technical terminologies we are going to. So the final thing is, in order to develop any kind of front-end design of a web application, or so we can call it as web application also. Web application, we can go for web technologies course. Okay, fine. So I will take once again these technical terms once again in the coming classes. First of all, I would like to go for so the thing is, so once again I would like to discuss. So to design the front end part of a website, we are going to see various kind of languages. So what are those? Those they have defined in the form of various kind of units. Unit 1 is comes under some requirement. Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 5, and this is Unit 6. Okay, so by covering all the 6 units of this course, you can able to develop, or you can able to apply for a job like front-end developer. Okay, fine. So let me go for in-depth about one by one concept, so that you will get somewhat clear-cut idea. Take some size. Okay, fine. Anyway, yes. So first part, HTML. So HTML, you know. So with the help of HTML, I think from here to here, with the help of HTML, so I don't want to go for the definitions, all those. I will take once I start our syllabus. So with the help of HTML, I can able to develop a web page. It's a single web page? No. Sunil develops web page 1. I will develop web page 2. Somebody develops 1 minute. Somebody develops web page 3, and so on. Now what I would do is I will make combine of all these web pages. What we call the collection of web pages? This collection of web pages, we call it as a website. So the final outcome of studying the first unit, first half part, is meant to design a website. Guys, observe, this is what kind of page? This is a one kind of web page. Am I right or not? If I click on queries, queries.php is also a kind of web page. If I click on tenders.php is also a kind of web page. If I click on our university and click on about RGKT, if I click on campus life, the thing that we are going to get is also a web page. So like this, I am having n number of web pages over this website. So this collection of web pages, I make it as a single location. That single location web pages, we call it as a website. I hope you understood clearly. So clearly I can say that with the help of HTML language, I can able to develop a particular website. So in this I can able to see what are the various kind of formatting elements and fonts, how to comment the code, what are the various kind of colors I am going to involve, What do you mean by hyperlink? What do you mean by list tables, images, forms, frames, and frame sets, etc. That we are going to see. So see, observe. So I want to set the frame color, like font color. I want to set some kind of formatting elements. I want to make some kind of links. So tenders is a kind of link, right? And this is a kind of link. So this is a kind of a table format. This is a kind of table format. And if you observe something, so this is not actually a frame, but you can make like this. So this is a, you can observe events and achievements is a kind of frame, and news and notifications is also a kind of frame. So like that, if you want to design a web page completely, so and this is a kind of image. So I think I have covered all the topics: colors, hyperlinks, list tables, images, forms, frames. So, and if you would like to show forms, I can go for. So this is a kind of form. What is the meaning of form? Form is going to take some input from the user and it is going to display some data. It is going to respond some data. Okay, fine. So this is a kind of form. So with the help of HTML, I can able to develop a website. Okay, fine. Now next thing is CSS, means cascading styles. With the help of the CSS, I can able to provide more look and feel of the website. More look and feel of the website. Okay, the general thing is with the help of HTML, I developed a website which may be a may look or may not look, but to make more look and feel, I will use the language. I will use the CSS, cascading style sheets. So here I'm going to discuss the basic syntax and structure that you have to follow, and how to manipulate text fonts, borders, boxes, margins, padding list, positioning. All this we'll see in this unit. Meaning that simply I can say that to define styles for the web pages, to define styles for the web pages which you developed through HTML, then we go for CSS. Then we go for CSS. Okay, fine. Next, second unit, JavaScript. So JavaScript is a kind of a scripting language actually. So the thing is, web technology is not a single language. That is what I am saying. This is a kind of markup language. This is a kind of markup language. This is a kind of styling language. This is a kind of text-based scripting language. This is also a kind of markup language. This is a kind of script-based language. Bootstrap is a kind of language where we'll have predefined set of methods. Like that, we'll have, it's a collection of various languages. Okay, fine. JavaScript. So JavaScript is a kind of scripting language that can work both at client side as well as at server side. So the main purpose of this JavaScript is to make our application more interactive. Is to make our application, sorry, is to make application, okay, fine. It's technically same. Sorry, okay, technical implementation is different, but the final meaning is same. So the outcome of this JavaScript is I can able to develop an interactive web application. Interactive web application. Interactive web application means it's a kind of dynamic web page. It's a kind of dynamic web page. I mean, what I'm saying is, so generally with the help of HTML, I am going to develop a website. That website is a static website. So what do you mean by static website? Where we can't interact. We can't interact. We can't interact means we can just view the data. That's it. We can just view the data. Whereas coming to dynamic web page, or a website where we can interact with the system, where we can interact with the web page or website, so that we can view the data, as well as we can get the response from the website, So meaning that I would like to show somewhere. So this is a kind of static website actually. But as I have used here JavaScript, if I select something, click on this, it is going to make some response or not? It's going to make some response. So this is a kind of dynamic thing. So this is what we call it as a dynamic website. This is a kind of web page. This is a kind of static web page. So even though I performed some kind of click operation, that's it. It is just we can view the data. That's it. We can just view the data. We can't able to, like, if I am going to perform some operation, we won't get any response. Just we are viewing the data. We are in the data. That viewing data of the web page we call it a static web page. But if I am clicking on the login button, I am getting, for example, I am removing this. Clicking on login, I am getting some response. This is a kind of thing we call it as a dynamic web page or dynamic website. Okay, fine. So what we discussed in the unit 1, we are able to develop a static website. For that, we can able to apply CSS so that we'll have more look and feel. And for this, after completion of our first unit, if I am able to apply JavaScript, I can able to convert the static website into dynamic website. Guys, do you all attractive for the static websites or dynamic websites? I hope you are all attractive for dynamic website, because we can able to get some response, right, through that website. Yes. So with the help of the JavaScript, I can able to provide dynamic website, which we can call it as a interactiveness. So meaning that based upon the user selection, we can able to get some kind of response. So we will see this JavaScript at client side. Actually, it is all works at the server side, that is jQuery. Client side, variables, functions, conditions, these are all UNOM. So we are going to see the basic syntax. That's it. So the remaining concept that are all you know already. Next, pop-up boxes. Guys, have you heard about the term pop-up boxes anyway? Term pop-up boxes. Observe this kind of thing. So I think you observed this kind of thing at some time. So don't worry about the understandability here. I'm just making select of what happened? It is asking for enter your name. For example, I am entering my name as Jay Krishna. So this is the example for prompt. For example, confirm. His age is 45. Sorry. Don't worry about all these syntaxes. What happened here? His age is 45. Yes. If you click on OK, it will relate to something. If you click on cancel, it will be related to something. So these are all the things which we call it as pop-up box, whatever thing that I have shown. So those are all having various purposes that I will show in the coming classes while discussing the concept of JavaScript. And HTML, DOM, browser element, HTML, DOM, these are all meant for to modify, to make our website more interactive. So when we click on something, all those that we can do with the help of document object model. So we'll see various kind of browser environments and form validation. So form validation, sometimes you can observe at some locations where if you enter, I think guys, Facebook comes under some, why I'm getting in Telugu, huh? I don't know. Okay, if you didn't enter the Madati Peru, if you are trying to go for the second last name, then you will get some kind of error. So actually they have used some kind of language, but I am trying to show that it is going to provide some kind of validation here. Meaning, what is that validation? If you are not entering something in your first field and you are trying to move for the second field, it is going to provide some kind of error. There is a kind of validation or not. For example, if you would like to go for, I would like to go for the allow the people who are having the age greater than 18. If I am going to enter the less than 18, for example 17, then I should not uh, create the Facebook account. So at the time, what we can do before going to submit our data, I am going to validate here. That kind of thing we can go for validation. If it is correct, then I will go for directly the next thing. Yes. So this kind of all the things that you can go for form validation. Form validation. Then events and event listeners. So once you know the concept of AWT, I no need to explain much more about these events and event listeners. I too don't concentrate much more about all this because I already covered all this in the AWT. I will go for just the basic syntax. So how to mouse over, mouse click, button click, all these I am going to check. Window close, all these operations I am going to perform. That's it. So based upon some kind of event, meaning that when I click over a particular button B1, I need to submit data or I need to validate something or what? That thing. That kind of things, if you would like to make events, you can go for it through JavaScript. Okay. So with the help of second unit, I can able to develop a dynamic website. And the third unit, this is an important one actually. Important. So XML, extensible markup language, which is meant for just simply we can say that which is meant for to store and organize our data. To store and organize our data. Let me try one thing. Okay, fine. I don't want to discuss. So XML is meant for to store and organize our data. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. So which is meant for to store and organize our data. The main thing is which is meant for used for to transform our data actually. Simple thing. So what is the difference between XML and HTML? HTML is mainly concentrating on how to display the data. It is mainly concentrating on how to display the data. Mainly concentrating on how to display the data. But what about this XML? It is going mainly concentrating on how to store the data. How to store it. In this, we'll see various kind of use of XML, simple XML key components, DDD and schemas, using XML with application, transform XML using XSL and XSLT. All this we'll see. Okay. The thing is, I will take some simple example, Amma, so that you will get very much clarity. For example, with the help of first unit, I have designed a website. Where your exam cell, Amma. Your exam cell. Username, password, and submit button. For this, I have created a more look and feel. By using CSS, and with the help of JavaScript, I make validations here. And the backend developers have a database like server where your exam results are there, where your exam results are there. Just tell to Archana. Can anybody inform? Okay. So where your exams and results are there? Results are there. Whenever user enter username and password, the backend developers what they will do, they will perform some logic and they will try to provide. They will display the results here. They will try to display the results here. So up to here, we don't require any kind of XML. The thing is, there is a website like Nanobumi. Let us assume that Nanobumi website is there. These people also have developed some website with a self of some data, username and password, and some submit that. And what is this people purpose? These people, what they will do is they will try to release scholarship for every student. They will try to release the scholarship for every student. And while releasing the scholarship of every student, first of all, they will let you check for about your attendance, or at max case, they will try to check for your exam results. Check for your exam results. Whether he has clearly completed his exams or not. Clearly complete his exams or not. Am I right or not? Yes. ఇతను ఎగ్జామ్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేస్తారని చెక్ చేస్తారు. ఇతను ఎగ్జామ్ రిజల్ట్స్ అన్ని పాస్ అయ్యేలా చెక్ చేయాలంటే ఫస్ట్ వీళ్ళకి ఏం కావాలమ్మా? ఈ రిజల్ట్స్ కావాలి. ఈ రిజల్ట్స్ మనం ప్రతిసారి వీళ్ళకి ప్రతిసారి మాన్యువల్గా పంపించాలా, మెయిల్ చేయాలా? మెయిల్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? మన డేటా అంతా డిస్క్లోజ్ అయిపోతుందా లేదా? మన డేటా డిస్క్లోజ్ అయిపోతుంది. సో దట్ సొల్యూషన్ ఈస్ నాట్ కరెక్ట్. We can't give it manually to the Nanobumi people, and these people also can't able to validate that results, that huge number of students results manually. So there is another solution. What is that solution? These people can directly contact our server by getting corresponding credentials. Am I right or not? Yes, by getting corresponding credentials. Now if I give the corresponding credentials, this server contains is the students data or student the corresponding server contains students data. Along with student data, there is also some more information about college data or not? Yes, which doesn't require for Nanobumi developers. But these people are very much enthusiasm about what data is there in the college. These people are very much interested because they already know the credentials. Am I right or not? So giving the credentials of a particular server is also not good thing, because these people are third party people. At that time, what we will do is we will develop an XML file. This XML file will act as a mediator between this server and this Nanobumi people. Meaning that once they made some request, we will export the required data in the form of XML, and we will hand out the data to these people. And what these people will do? These people try to decode the XML file and they will try to read the data, so that they can't able to access our data directly. So that is the advantage of XML. Okay, fine. So this is all what about XML advantage. So XML acts as a mediator between, meaning that it is going to store and organize our data. Simple terms. Okay, if you have more clarity, I will take it that third unit. Okay, next one, fourth unit, jQuery. jQuery is an JavaScript library. That's it. jQuery is an JavaScript library. So you know the meaning of library. So AWT is a kind of, so instead of saying that if I use the word framework, you can able to understand that. So AWT, applets, Sphinx, these are all the various kind of frameworks or not? Yes, these are all the various kind of framework. Framework means these are already built-in methods. If you would like to use, we can reuse that. So with the help of jQuery, we can make easy our task. Our task. Our task. Okay. So meaning that, so the outcome of this fourth unit is we can able to develop a website within less time wherever we necessary JavaScript. See guys, uh, right understood. Guys, the thing is, I would like to go somewhat fast, and so wherever necessary, I would like to make real stress. If it is not necessary, I will go fast. Please try to make it utilize it for the practice session on the day itself. So I would like to go for to develop a website wherever necessary of JavaScript, so that I will take very less time. So this less time is in terms of what? This less time is in terms of what? So what is the need of JavaScript? JavaScript is meant for to make our interactiveness. To make our interactiveness meaning that interactiveness means it's a kind of response time or not. So with the help of jQuery, in order to perform a particular task, in the JavaScript I need to write n number of lines of code. Whereas coming to jQuery, they have some kind of fixed methods which are common to all the people. Then I can use that method so that my developing time is very less. And also one more thing is it can able to improve the response time of the website. So these are the two important points if you would like to say in the form of less time. So this is the outcome of jQuery. Okay, fine. Next, second part of the fourth unit, front-end web UI frameworks. Like Bootstrap, Node.js. These are all the various kind of UI frameworks. UI means user interface framework. Frameworks means these are all the predefined methods. So with the help of this front end, so here in the front end web UI frameworks of the second part of the fourth unit, what I am going to do is I am going to give clear cut overview of frameworks, and in the coming to 15 and 16 I will go for in-depth about these frameworks. That is what the 15 it is framework and 16 it is Node.js. That is why I will go for here overview, and here I'll go for in-depth. And full stack development, the meaning you already know. Let me explain that clearly in that unit itself. So Git, Git is a kind of a repository, meaning that it is a kind of storage location. Where your complete project is going to reside, and that project can be shared by multiple people, so that multiple people can simultaneously work on the same project. So in this unit of the second part, I will show how to create a Git, and how to work with Git, how to store the data, how to perform all this. I will show here. The advantage of this Git is it can able to support for versions of the languages. So presently I am working with version 1. Now suddenly if I change it to version 3, then it can able to support. That is the advantage of Git. Okay, npm means it's a kind of a package name, like Node Package Manager, which is provided for Node.js. So all the predefined frameworks, all the predefined libraries are provided in a package, right? In the Java, I hope you heard already. They are provided in a kind of package. So that package manager, we call it as Node Package Manager. Okay. Coming to 15 we are going to see Bootstrap. Bootstrap is also a framework. So with the help of this framework, I can able to develop a website within less time. I can able to develop a website within less time. Guys, try to understood the thing. I'm defining one thing. With the help of first unit, I can able to develop a web page or a website or web page. Along with, I can able to provide more look and feel. Now, if I am able to apply JavaScript, I can able to improve. I can able to convert this into a dynamic website. And so if there are two dynamic websites, D1 and D2 are there, to transfer data between or to exchange data between these two D1 and D2 people, we will use the XML file. Guys, I would like to make simple example. Guys, SBI is a kind of bank, and these people having entire huge amount of information about a particular customer, and phone pay, Paytm is also a kind of company. These people are also having various kind of customers. What are those customers? They meant for use to transfer the data or receive the money, or that's it. And these people having the more information about a particular customer. So here, if this SBI people will provide credentials to access this database, then what this PhonePe people can do? They can do anything, right? So then there is no difference between SBI and PhonePe. So instead of that, what they will do is they will create an XML file. They create an XML file, and what kind of data they require? They require phone number of the account number. They require how much balance is there in that account number. Like this kind of data is only enough. These people doesn't require any account number. So in this XML file, I won't provide account number. So that is the way I can able to use this XML file. So that is your third unit. So to transfer data, I will go for using third unit if it is necessary. Okay, this is a side apart. And by applying jQuery, I can able to improve response time. Or I can able to improve dynamism of the website. And with the help of Git, I can able to work multiple people can work parallelly on a same project. So guys, a single project cannot be done by a single person. It can be shared by multiple people. And if the code is available at a single location and that code is accessible by multiple people, then parallelism is achieved or not. And in the 5th unit, by applying the concept of by learning the language of Bootstrap, framework of Bootstrap, I can able to design a website or a web page within less time. So Bootstrap response design, Bootstrap grid system, that is what we can see. Navigation bar, icon, fonts, user inputs, all these are all related to HTML. And Bootstrap CSS components, Bootstrap, all these are all related to CSS, and these are all related to JavaScript. Is jQuery. And task runners are meant for to run the various kind of similar tasks, which will take very less time. That is what we can see there itself. So meaning that, for example, if I am having a same image I would like to use for multiple times, then I can go for optimize that image. WhatsApp chestama web page WhatsApp image optimize chestunnaru eda. Yes, you can go for optimize that image. So Bootstrap is a kind of framework where we'll have a predefined methods or predefined meaning keywords are there. Those we can use for us, so that the development time will be takes less time. Here I can simply say that it is a developing time, not the response time, It's a kind of developing time only. But whereas coming to here, It's a kind of response time. It's a kind of response time. Okay. So coming to our sixth unit, we'll see one more framework, Node.js. So which will provide various kind of rich libraries again. Various kind of rich libraries of various JavaScript modules. Various JavaScript modules, which simplifies our developing time. Which simplifies our developing time of the corresponding web application. So simply I can say that Node.js is we can call it as a JavaScript library once again, JavaScript library. But here we'll have some kind of runtime environment. Just make it remember, that's it. I will explain that. JS library along with runtime environment. So the one more advantage of this one is it is going to eliminate the waiting time, Amma. It is going to eliminate waiting time, and it will try to handle the next request. Just make note, I will explain there. See, there are multiple tasks are going on. If T1 is trying to perform some task, so this is not allowed to handle the next request. But if you use the concept of Node.js, then that request it is going to handle. So for time being, I just explain for the purpose of meaning. Okay. So in that we'll see how to set up the environment, what is some examples, and some kind of RPL terminals, Node package manager, Express frameworks, RESTful API, all this I will see. So RESTful API is also a kind of application program. So API, meaning the application programming interface, which is meant for, so RESTful means representational state transfer. So generally used for to create interactive applications. Same thing. It is used for to create interactive applications. Make interactive applications. So finally, what I can say that web page or a website, and I can make more look and feel. And I can make a dynamic web page, and I can make development time very less. Along with that, response time very less. Along with that, I can able to parallelly work. Along with that, I can take very less development time. In terms of static web pages. This is in terms of static web pages. This is in terms of dynamic web pages. Here, if you would like to transfer, I can able to use XML. Transfer data, I can able to use XML, and this is also meant for to efficient improve of interactiveness. Along with handling of the request. So it minimizes the waiting time. How it is going to minimize the waiting time? All this we will see there. So this is the final outcome of our web technologies. So what I can say that, what is the outcome? Guys, if you observe anywhere, what this entire task is related to? The front end part. The front end part of the website. That's it. So where you will observe? We'll always observe in the form of front end only. That's it. So the final outcome of our web technologies course is to develop or to design an efficient front end web application. An efficient front end web application. That is the final outcome. That's it. Okay, this is the just general overview of all the 6 units. And coming to syllabus, coming to textbooks, you can follow anyone, no need. But my special request is, no need to follow any textbook. No need to follow any textbook. Just to follow my lectures. Follow my lectures and make execute the every concept. Make it execute every concept. Wherever you will get doubt, try to make try to search in the Google. Try to search in the Google and try to learn something. That's it. Don't go for this textbook. Some textbooks contains vast data which will take more time to understand. Instead of that, if you search in Google, then automatically you will get, see, nowadays this front end part for all this lot of stuff is there in the internet. So you will get better material when you search over a Google instead of studying over the textbook. Okay, fine. So, and coming to the reference books, you can follow any reference books. Okay, and one of the important web resources is w3schools.com. So you know already. So where you can able to execute there itself. If for example you have a doubt related to radio buttons concept, then you can search in the Google. You will get the w3schools.com. There you can go for selecting the radio buttons concept. Then there itself you can execute. Once you execute, you will get clear cut idea about that. Okay, na? Fine. And coming to the lab point, I would like to use various kind of editors. We can use any editor. Generally, I can use Edit Plus. Because it is an actually paid version, but I am having a original Edit Plus software. So I will try to execute with Edit Plus. Meanwhile, I will try to go for some kind of new editors, because you have to cope up with those, right? Like Code Blocks, Sublime Text. See, I would like to go for Sublime Text Stream in future. PyCharm, etc. These are all various kind of editors. So it's better to use multiple editors so that you will get very much practice on those editors. And coming to the lab session, you have to do all these tasks. So anyway, while explaining the concepts, everything will include all these things. So my request is, try to practice on yourself wherever you are going to read some particular concept related to web technologies. That's it. Okay, na? Okay, fine. That's it. So I hope I have given clear overview for you. So now, if you have any doubts, you can ask.